Yeah, since Lyubech is one of the best map for PvP, and I also think it's better than Inflow because you find lots of enemy there. Lyubech, there is going to be also a lot of bots like zombies and mud dance, boars, and all this mutant dance. And then you can also find bosses. It's a really fun map for me because for the PvP wise, and also because if you want to farm, there's some weapon that you can farm with the Lyubech materials, which is the VSSK, the revolver, also the ash, and all those barter tree. You can also get lots of stuff, of junk, of stashes that sell them for really lot of prices. Yeah, so at Lyubech, usually lots of people use master gears because it's the best gear that you can use there, since it's going to be full of players or competing for, against each other for, I don't know, artifacts, because artifacts in Lyubech is really common there and they give you the rare one. And since there are lots of stasis, you can find lots of atoms, shards, or prism, and also the mirror. Usually the guns that you need to use in Lyubech, your master gear, whether it is AK-15 and or I don't know, A545, guns that is really good against players that are good damage dealers. I usually run with the AK-15 because it's the balanced weapon. It has 600 shots per rate of fire and 64.88 damage, which is you can round it to almost 65, and if you do headshot it goes to 69 or 70 damage per second. Other people are using also SA-58, and the shotgun I use is the Protecta. I don't recommend you using the Saiga. The Saiga is, it's a high rapid weapon, but there's a better one which was in the last season or in this season, which is the AA-12. The AA-12 is really good weapon against mutants. It also deals a lot of damage, also against players it deals a lot of damage. And you can, maybe while you are farming and you see a person or a player in close range, you can just destroy them, melt them with 2 shots or 3 shots doing headshot. And yeah, so I use the Vanguard instead because the Vanguard is almost like a Beast Slayer and a Centurion fused together. But obviously it's going to change in your faction, whether you're a mercenary, a covenant, or you're a Rise member. Because in Rise you have the Hound Hunter, which gives you 12% of speed, so almost like the Albatross exosuit, not the heavy one, which is the legendary one. Or for the mercenary you get the Punisher, which is a Scythian with 3% speed buff, so also almost like a Hector. And so if you have the Hector, it's better to have the Hector. And if you are a covenant, you get the Pesveret, which is a scientist suit, and it has minus 5% of movement speed penalty. It has really good protection against anomalies. Yeah, so but if you want to go there in Lyubech, I recommend using, if you're Frontier, I recommend you using either the Vanguard, either Beast Slayer, the Mule. Centurion is also good, but since you encounter a lot of anomalies there, maybe you need those extra protection against the anomalies. And the difference between the Mule and the Centurion is only 30% of 30 bullet resistance, so it isn't that much. I mean, if you compared Scythian to Centurion, it changed a lot because there are almost 90 BR of bullet resistance gap. And yeah, I would recommend you using the Centurion at this point instead of the Scythian. I see a lot of people using the Scythian and they get killed fast because either they are playing really safe or being aggressive, but they have low bullet resistance, unless they have really good aim or they're cheating, and that's another topic. So the Vanguard has 340 BR at level 15, and then it has 281 laceration protection. Those are the thing you need to have before. And obviously you need the artifacts, you need to have good artifacts. You can either use the Hive Container or the Beluga 6. So the locations where you find the Lyubech portal are in this way, in this location, which is like in kind of a bathroom, a military bathroom, because this compound is a military compound which is occupied by zombies. And yeah, this is one of the portals, and the other one is here. It's down here in southern part of the zone, of the barrier. You find it here. Yep, it's here. So it's like a bunker. And the last one is another bathroom. It's for, I think it's a girls or a male's bathroom, I don't remember, but it's in a school right here in these little houses or structures. Okay, so this is the bathroom. I usually go here because it's the shortest way to Lyubech. Since I'm already here, I just go inside this portal. Okay, so here in Lyubech, spawn in 4 points. Either spawn here, you spawn in the southeast, southeast, in the middle here, and the other one is, I think, here in the northern part, either here and here. So this is the 5 spawn points, if I'm correct, obviously, because I don't really mark them at all. So yeah, so be careful. Maybe if you're hiding in these spots, you need to be careful, because people have the has the spawn armor, so you can kill them unless they shoot you first or their timer runs out. Yeah, and this marker that I put in the map, these are all the portals that spawns in the game. Sometimes they also spawn elsewhere, but they spawn randomly. But the permanent one is here, the one you find here, and then the one that you find near you find here in the upper side of the map. And there are sometimes also the boss near the giant fiend, if I remember, or the pseudo giant spawn. It's near here somewhere. Yeah, so this map is, like I told you before, it's notorious for having lots of NPCs and lots of mutants, and also really high dance of players. And as you can see, the feeds are just keep coming up. Not like in Inflow, they're not that high. Sometimes only when they're the outpost, but here you usually find a lot of players who keep killing each other. Always remember that there are some weapons that you can craft with the stuff that you get. So the stuff you get there is the Limbo, the Bitterleaf, Lambda data fragments, the Limbo Plasma, and then the Anomalous Battery. If you stack them all, if you farm them, you'll get the MTS 558, which is a sniper. It's the veteran version of the VSSK. There is also the OTS 14 Groza, which is the veteran version of the Ash 12. The Ash 12 is one of the best damage dealer of the game. Then you also get the Colt Python, which is the veteran version of their Ash 12. And if you want to get the Limbo, you need to attack the occupied buildings. You will either fight NATO soldiers or Murmur soldiers, and you can also find them from killing zombies. If you want to get the Bitterleaf, you need to kill the boars, you need to kill the mutts, and then the ghouls. These are the 3 mutants that you can get, where you can get the Bitterleaf. If you want to get the Lambda fragments, you need to either help the scientists or do your Anomalous Rift missions. And there's also another one, which is the Anomalous Battery. You usually get them by taking the packages, the one that the airdrops. You usually find at the airdrops. If you want to get the Limbo Plasma, almost like the same as the Anomalous Serums, but it's the white one. You get them from killing the bosses, and you usually get it from there. The Cycles, you find them in the theater, and usually there are many of them. They're going to spawn a lot of minions. You need to, when you find the ghouls in the theater, you need to get them from you, because there are lots of minions, the ones trying to kill you. Some minions that just die instantly without killing you, but usually these bots or these mutants, these ghouls, are the ones that are trying to kill you, and then look out for the ones away from your squad or from you when if you're playing solo. The area is also dangerous because the most easiest boss in the so if people approaching you prepared to engage some PvPs, because you either fight one person or maybe you're going to fight 3 or a full squad. So I recommend you, the first thing you really do there is just go away to the boss, shoot every ghoul you see, and once you see the one that you go straight to it, and then every other ghoul will just disappear. There's a construction site, so behind the construction site there's also another boss, which is the Chimera. Chimera is a bit interesting to kill because you approach it surface in where it is, or you can also just climb to this wall showing you. Just stay there and Chimera. The Chimera is the one that a lot of damage. The dogs, you need to kill all dogs, spawn a lot of minions. You don't kill them, they're going to deal you a lot of damage, and I recommend having the Vanguard, because the Vanguard here is really useful since it's a lot of vision protection, also high resistance. You're going to, there's also another, this is the one that is always camped by a lot of enemies. You have lots of opening here because you have the wall, you have action site, and then also the one that are spawn areas where you go to Lyubech. So you need to be really careful and just go immediately and kill the Chimera, and then all the bosses, all the dogs, and see someone or two players. So the last boss instead is the Giant. The Giant is so very dangerous area when you need to. There are 2 areas on the tunnel, and there are 2 openings. There are people are going to kill you from behind, or you're going to see them straight in front of you. To kill the pseudo giant, point, you need to jump to this area, to the one concretes, to this. You just stay there and the boss doesn't damage you. Sometimes, and Alcotan stuns you, give you those stun effects. It just flashbang effects. You don't need to the minions, the rats, or the chimera boss. Here you just need to straight up kill him, then just the crate, and then just press X. So you just get everything immediately. An almost research installation that you do if to get out from Lyubech. I think it's the most worthless way to get the ticket to get out from Lyubech, because it's going to be, you need to kill skeeters, you need to kill pigs, you need to kill those hordes of those mutants, and it's really risky because it's the one that makes more noises, and so it's going to attract more players. And not only they're going to see that you are doing it, and you're also going to be exposed. The key, I usually call it the key, or the game says it calls it the ID, and it's like a limiting book, and you need it because it's the only way to get out from Lyubech. Because Lyubech is also different from the other maps like Stillwater's, Labyrinth, or other areas, because usually when you go inside those areas you have the portals and they don't require anything else to get out from there. Instead, here you need to kill all the bosses, and you don't just need to kill one boss and you will gather one ticket. So, but you need to be also cautious, because if you are in a group and people are with you, they are all your members, faction members or rival faction, they kill the boss, you won't be able to get the ticket. So what you need to do is to kill the boss. Be sure to be the one who kills the boss. If not, you're not going to go outside. Maybe you need to search for another boss. So for the portals inside, there are lots of areas where you can get access to. These portals, there are usually two permanent areas. The one that you see in the map I showed you, that I'm marking you, they are usually the permanent ones, that is in the north side, and the ones in the south side. The north side, construction side, it's the one that is usually camped by other players, so this is also the riskiest one. So that's why it's also the chimera is the one that is usually long waited by enemies or teammates, because the one that is really near to your way out of Lyubech. And the other one is in the south zone, and it's I think 500 meters from this area where the construction site is. It's the one that is usually safer from my experience, because not a lot of people are going to that side of the map. I mean, you'll see maybe some enemies there sometimes, but it isn't really one that a lot of people want to camp at. Your chances is going to be 70% of being safe, instead of the construction side that it's usually 20 or 30% of being safe. Usually there are the intermediate portals, which are the middle ones, and they are spread, and there is a specific time where you can see them, and so you need to be really lucky when these portals spawns, because they're not guaranteed. So yeah, this is all the maps, the locations of portals, and yeah, just mark it at the end, so that next time you need to run away from Lyubech, you just, instead of just running around and not knowing where the portals are, the main portals are, just put it in your map. You have it already marked. Congratulations, now you know what to do in Lyubech. Next time when you go there, always remember to be really super aggressive in Lyubech, because people there, they are also going to be super aggressive. And remember to always go with someone if you want to have more chance on surviving. Mark all your portals in order to avoid running around without not knowing what to do there and not to find them. I suggest you to go to the permanent ones, and usually go to the southern one if you're playing solo. If you want to risk all, you can just stay in the construction site and hope to not being killed by anyone. So yeah, that's it.